On March 20th, 2024, Redis stopped being open source. 2 days later, this repository existed. Same code, new name, and the license Redis had just walked away from. It is called Valkey. 26,600 stars, governed by the Linux Foundation, with AWS, Google, Oracle, and Alibaba paying its maintainers. So which one do you install in 2026? That is the question in every thread. There is a better one sitting underneath it, and it is why I made this. Do you need a cache server at all? Rails ships without one now. A firewall company pulled Redis out and got 3 times faster. They replaced it with a file. Here's what you get. Valkey against Redis on license, speed, and price with a real verdict. Then the SQLite question, answered with measured numbers and 3 walls, 3 specific things that make the file answer wrong. I name all 3 before the end, and if you hit one, you need the server. Start in 2024 because the licenses are the only reason 2 of these exist. Redis was BSD for 15 years. Anyone could take that source, run it as a paid managed service, and own nothing back. Amazon did exactly that, at enormous scale, while Redis Incorporated watched the money go past. So Redis Incorporated changed the terms. Version 7.4 shipped under 2 licenses at once, and both said the same thing. You may not sell this as a managed service. Neither one meets the open source definition, and that word carries more weight than it sounds like it should. Fedora took that at face value. Its engineering committee voted Redis out, and from Fedora 41 onward, installing Redis gets you Valkey with a compatibility shim on top. An entire Linux distribution swapped the package because it could no longer call the license free. The engineers writing that code did not stay to argue about it. Madeline Olson, a Redis core maintainer and a principal engineer on AWS in-memory databases, took the last BSD commit and pushed it somewhere else. 2 days from the announcement to a working fork, which tells you how ready people were. Valkey went to the Linux Foundation under the same BSD 3-clause license Redis had abandoned, and the cloud providers arrived at once because every one of them had the same problem. Avon, Alibaba, ByteDance, DigitalOcean, Ericsson, Google, Heroku, Oracle, Percona, Tencent. That is a competitor list, and they are all funding the same repository. Then Redis did something few people expected. In May 2025, Redis 8 added AGPL version 3 as a third license option, and AGPL is approved by the Open Source Initiative. If you self-host, Redis is open source again by the actual definition. That is not a technicality, and the coverage mostly missed it. It thins the license argument, it does not settle it. AGPL is copyleft. Build a service on modified Redis, and you owe your users that source. BSD asks you for nothing at all. If you ship a hosted product on a patched Redis, AGPL says your patches go back out of the door with it. And in December 2024, Salvatore Sanfilippo, Anti-Res, the person who wrote Redis in the first place, went back to work there. Whatever you make of the license, the engineering did not stop. Redis 8.8 shipped this year with a brand new array type, a 1-command rate limiter, and field-level notifications on hashes. Speed then. Valkey 9.0 arrived in October 2025, doing up to 40% more throughput than 8.1 on identical hardware. That came out of 3 unglamorous changes: prefetching memory before it is needed, skipping a copy on large replies, and SIMD instructions for counting bits. The ceiling number is louder. A Valkey 9.0 cluster runs to 2,000 nodes and past 1 billion requests a second. You are not going to build that. It matters because it tells you the engine will not be the first thing in your stack to fall over. Redis answered with 8.6, which reaches 3.5 million operations a second with pipelining switched on. Redis measures that at more than 5 times what version 7.2 managed, and 7.2 is the last BSD release. Same project, 4 years apart, most of it on 1 core. Both of those are vendor benchmarks on hardware the vendor chose. I am not going to rank 2 press releases against each other and call it a test. What I can compare is what each project actually shipped and when it landed. Memory is where it gets concrete, because memory is the thing you rent. Valkey 9.1, out in May 2026, cut per-key memory by up to 10% with no configuration change at all. Redis 8.6 cut hash memory by nearly 17% and sorted sets by 30%. Both teams are aiming at your instance size. The feature lists have converged almost completely. Valkey 9.0 shipped hash field expiry and atomic slot migration in October 2025. Redis 8.4 shipped atomic slot migration that November. 1 month apart. 2 teams working the same list from opposite sides of the fork. Compatibility is the part people still get wrong. Valkey speaks the same protocol. Your Redis P, your Jedis, your Go Redis Connect without a code change, and Redis SQLite talks to a Valkey server. Fedora ships the shim, so even the binary name keeps working. The star counts tell you less than they look like they do. Redis has 75,000 of them and a 16-year head start. Valkey has 26,600 after 2 years. Watch the contributor list instead. Over 80 people landed code in Valkey 9.1 alone. So the real difference is not the engine, it is the invoice. On Amazon ElastiCache, Valkey costs 20% less than Redis on node-based clusters and 33% less on serverless, starting at $6 a month. Hold a reserved node and you keep the reservation at the lower price, which settles the first half of the title. Starting fresh in 2026, take Valkey. BSD license, Linux Foundation governance, cheaper on every managed platform, and every client you already use keeps working. Stay on Redis when your product is built on Redis modules, and in a minute I will show you the module Valkey just matched. Now the second half of the title, and it is a serious question. Just use SQLite instead. It gets posted under every cache thread on Hacker News, usually with nothing attached to it. There are numbers attached to it. Here they are. Start with what a cache read actually costs you, because it is not the memory lookup. Valkey advertises latency under 100 microseconds, and Redis sits in the same neighborhood. That part of the operation is not where your time goes. 37 Signals wrote down the version with the arithmetic in it when they built solid cache. Memory is many times faster than disk, but memory access is only a fraction of the time a cache operation takes. The rest is network, serialization, and compression. Those three are the bill. SQLite puts it harder than I would. From its own documentation, SQLite does not compete with client-server databases. SQLite competes with FOPIN. There is no socket, no connection pool, no serialization step, no second process to keep alive and monitor and page somebody about at 2 in the morning. Your query runs inside your own process against a file the kernel is already holding in page cache. Wafris is a web application firewall that installs as Rails middleware. Version 1 made you run your own Redis alongside it. Michael Buckby wrote up why they threw that out in September 2024, and the write-up is unusually blunt about its own benchmark being biased on purpose. Their hot path is one query, and it is a nasty one. Every inbound request gets checked against 1.2 million pre-computed IP ranges. Allow list, block list, country mapping, reputation. Same dataset on both sides, same request order, a MacBook Air, 5 runs averaged. SQLite came out roughly 3 times faster than Redis on the same machine. Local Redis, no network in the measurement at all. And Buckby makes the point that actually matters. Even if SQLite had lost that benchmark 2-1, they would still have switched. The number they cared about more was not latency anyway. Successful installs went up threefold, because turning on a firewall stopped requiring you to run a database first. That is a product metric, and it is the reason the migration happened at all. This is not one company being clever. Rails 8 made solid cache the default cache store, so a new Rails app in production ships with no Redis in it. Basecamp runs the same thing, and their reported result is a cache 6 times larger on storage that costs 80% less. The pattern runs past caching. 37 Signals built solid queue on the same idea and moved a third of 18 million jobs a day onto it before it hit version 1. Jobs, cache, and WebSockets, all in the database, all shipping in Rails by default. 7 gems became 0. So why is anybody still paying for a cache server? 3 walls. I said I would name them. Wall 1, more than one box. A file on machine 1 is invisible to machine 2. 10 app servers means 10 separate caches, 10 cold starts on every single deploy, and 10 copies of the same value drifting apart from each other. And when a value changes, you have no way to tell the other 9. Wafris dodged that by refusing to invalidate anything at all. When your rules change, the client downloads an entirely new SQLite file. That works beautifully for firewall rules. Try it with a shopping cart. Wall 2, writes. SQLite takes one writer at a time. Reads are fine, thousands of them concurrently in write-ahead log mode, but a rate limiter is nothing but writes. So is a session counter. So is a job queue, a leaderboard, a distributed lock. Redis 8.8 added a single command for the rate limiter case. On SQLite, that is your transaction to get right. There is measured evidence against the file too, and I am including it. A Rails benchmark posted in early 2025 timed cache fetch at roughly twice as slow on solid cache as on Redis. Moving it onto a separate database narrowed that gap. It did not close it. Wall 3, the data structures. Sorted sets with atomic increments. Streams with consumer groups, pub sub. Eviction when memory fills up. You can build every one of those on SQLite, and you will be building them yourself in application code at 3 in the morning. And the gap is widening at the top end. Valkey Search hit version 1.2 in May 2026. Full text, tag filtering, and vector search running inside the same process that holds your cache. Redis has shipped vector sets since Redis 8. Your file does not do that, and it is not going to. One thing cuts both ways before the verdict. Valkey patched 2 remote code execution bugs on July 21st this year. Redis 8.8 patch 3. This is real infrastructure with a real attack surface, and the file sitting on your own disk has no port open at all. So here is the decision rule, and it is much shorter than the argument that produced it. Everything turns on one question. Does more than one process need to see the same value at the same instant? Not might someday. Does it today in the thing you are actually running? If the answer is no, one process, one box, read mostly, a cache you could rebuild from source data, use the file, SQLite, write a head log mode on. In Rails you already have it, because solid cache is the default, and you get to delete a dependency instead of adding one. If the answer is yes, several app servers, a rate limiter, sessions, a queue, anything where 2 machines have to agree, you need the server, and in 2026, that server is Valkey. BSD, Linux Foundation, 20% cheaper on ElastiCache, same protocol, same clients. Redis stays right when your product is built on Redis modules, and the part 1 actually believe. Most teams add a cache server before they have measured anything, because that is what the tutorial did. Measure your hot path first. If it fits in a file on the same box, the fastest network call is the one that does not happen. Tell me which of the 3 walls you hit.